to wait for everybody to just arrive or to settle in. I'm gonna get started with you while I prepare my insight. Um, to be completely honest for today, well, I'm always honest with you, but to be even more, how do you say, vulnerable? I don't know if that's the right word, but to be as transparent as possible. Usually I prepare myself with, with the energies that are coming, what's happening next week. But I didn't today. Didn't feel right. Didn't feel like that's the right thing to do to get started today. It felt more right to use the tools that were given to me, and one of them is these, to check in with the energies out there. Let me just check this. That's one of the things that I wanted to do. So as I usually explain in the beginning, so if this is your first time here, my beautiful soul, my name is May. I'm your neurospicy cyberwitch, helping you to get from overwhelm to self-trust. And basically feel belonging in your own energy field without trying to, fix you or something. I want to share with you how to be in alignment with your true self, no matter what, what the world out there wants to see or not see. Let me just check or not see. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to check if my microphone's working. It's all there. So that's where I want to get you to. And I started these Sunday 21. For me, my project name for these Sundays is 21 at 21. So it's 9 o'clock, 21 Central European summertime at the moment, because Germany does change time zone. And yes, I am situated in Germany. So it's at 21 o'clock for 21 minutes. We're going to be live. Not just for 21 minutes. The 21 minutes is more a referral to the guided journey where I take you with me. And I think I have to go a little bit further back. In a time in 2015, a long time ago, 11 years ago, when I was doing this in an analog way. Does it make sense when I say analog? Because I was doing it for people in a sort of like a community house in Munich, and it was fun. It was okay, but I felt I had the urge to do these on a more, online level, more so, to put it that way, because I don't know, it just felt right. But where I want to get to you is that I have a shamanic, I think I have to put it this way. I was taught to be a shamanic practitioner. That's why you see this is actually one of my drums that you see up here. And my wonderful spirit guides taught me to do these journeys, and I think it's because I have this calling to teach people how to connect to their spirit guides. Because it's something that I was taught by my wonderful teacher, and I remember how, the way I learned it through a shamanic form, it can be scary for people. And I think it was 2015, if not 2014, when my wonderful spirit guides actually sort of like, I have to put it this way. They gave me an initiation of some sort, teaching me how to do these shamanic journeys that usually are not guided, but to do them in a guided form. Yeah, because one of the visions that I have are to, help you, support you as a witchy, highly sensitive ADHDer to get connected with your spirit guides. And back then, I was taught to actually guide you, to sort of like be your tour guide, to connect you with your spirit guides so that you can, embrace them, so that you can get the support that you can get from a spirit guide, because you can get any kind of support. And this is one of, of the many things that were taught to us that I learned with my fellow, shamanic practitioners back then. We are taught that we are able to ask our spirit guides anything. And I remember because I also learned a form of spiritism where you also connect with your spirit guides in a different kind of way than, in the shamanic form. And I remember speaking to one of the spirit guides, and he was saying, like, dude, we're just waiting. We're just waiting for you to say what you need. We're just waiting for you to say, this is what I need. Please help me. Of course, there's always a divine component. And, if you want to go deeper into the philosophy, I highly recommend come join my Cyber Coven, because I'm actually right now I'm doing a Serve Your Energy Wave series, and I'm going through, the different kinds of how do I call this, like philosophy practices that you can use to connect to your true energy. If you want to go deeper into the philosophical part. But here, for these Sundays, what I want to do is connect you to your spirit guides, whoever they might be. And so when we do this here, it's for you to practice. That's why it's every Sunday. If you can't make it live at 21 o'clock, you can come back and check out the recording for each week. It's about coming together in a circle, in an energy. So everybody who will ever see this video in the future will already be in this circle, because in the spiritual realm of energies, there is no timeline. They're already here, right? And it's the same thing with your spirit guides. I want you to know that you can be safe. You are safe in the circle, because I take care of it to create the circle, create the safe space with my spirit guides, with my spirits that walk with me, that have been with me for years. If you want to get to know them, it's definitely 1 or 4 of my dragons that walk with me. Definitely my ancestors are running around there. I know one of them is always there. Yeah, that's why I'm looking over there, because I see her standing there already getting ready to create the circle for us. And some more, because there's ancestors, there's, what else? When I speak of spirit guides, it's for me, everybody. So in my case, it's like I just mentioned, one of my ancestors who was desperately waiting for one of us in the family to wake up to her, to feel her energy. My spirit animals that walk with me. The interesting thing is that ever since I started doing these journeys, there's always an elephant. An elephant is here. So our Meet Your Spirit journeys are, guided by an elephant. You might want to go and check out the energy, whatever resonates for you with the elephant, but that elephant is also in the room right now, getting ready to hold the space for us as well. So it can be natural, spirit guides, sort of like fairies and trolls, and I'm trying to remember all the other names, but like gnomes and whatever spiritual nature animals and beings of, they could be here. I'm not saying that they're there, but they could be here, right? And I suggest, with all the work that I've done with spirit guides, that where you can always, if you already know one spirit guide of yours, you can always say, ask them to come and show themselves. But I highly suggest to you to always ask into the ether for the coming week, who wants to be present with me right now in whatever we're doing today, who wants to be here with us, and ask them to, to come and be and see who wants to show up, right? Again, sorry, I haven't finished. There goes the ADHD brain. I don't want to forget things. So we have the spirits that have walked the earth, to put it this way, can be ancestors, can be other forms of spirits. I think at least the ones that I know of. Sorry, it's two. There are 2 spirits walking with me that I know have walked the earth as well. For me, some of them I've been together, like we've been spirits of each other, them for me and the other way around, because I've taken the time to connect with them on a deeper level, so they've been able to show me a couple of things from our previous lives. Together. Doesn't mean that everybody has that connection, but those are that kind of spirit guides. Teachers, healers, we can have all sorts. I have a couple of warriors. I remember that when they stepped into my spiritual world, they came up and said, it's time for you to stop fighting. We're going to be fighting the fights for you. Which was an incredible, experiences to have with your spirit guides. Those are that kind. Then there's also angels. And if you work with angels, wow, I'm in awe with you. I'm very grateful that I was allowed to see angels in my lifetime. Not very often, because again, in my case, I work with different kinds of spirits, but I have seen them, and it's an incredible energy to come up. So those might show up. Or if you have, I'm going to call them, on purpose, I'm going to call them extraterrestrials, meaning it can be energy that has come from a different plane, to put it this way, that work with you. Again, it's sort of like, you can imagine them sort of like nature energies, like the gnomes or the river nymphs or something like that. And then there's ones that come from space, or that might feel like they come from space. Not necessarily. I remember having one that I thought was from space, but then was living actually in our oceans. So that's another version of spirits that can come up. And I just suggest to you, if you've never done these kind of journeys before, or if you are right now practicing with me every week, to be open-minded yourself, to allow yourself in that moment when when I guide you to your journey, and I guide you to that moment where I say, okay, now you feel your spirit guides, just open your mind and allow whoever wants to show up, whoever shows up first, for that being to be the right one for you in that moment. All right? If they do look a little bit scary, because sometimes that might happen in the beginning, tell them, you're scaring me, please show up differently. You can actually tell them that. Yeah. We can always talk to them for that. And how are you going to, because I was just talking about how I see them, I perceive them as visions, so I usually see them as beings in front of me. Sometimes I'll feel them, like I won't see something, but it's like, because I feel them standing behind me on one of the sides and talking to my ears. So there's those 2 forms of hearing and seeing with your inner eye, to put it that way. But there's also a deep knowing. Like there's something that deeply inside of you, like the answer comes in from that, and it. Okay? Those are the 3 versions that I have. Then there are more versions. I know, that I was taught of people tasting and with the taste being able to, receive the information from spirits. Sometimes like feeling something on your skin happening, and with that, being able to feel them. Sometimes smell. Sometimes people will start smelling things and then they will understand something as information coming through. All right. If you are, a witchy, highly sensitive ADHD or neurospicy in any other form, you might have the tendency to be very visual in what you see. And that's why in the beginning, we sometimes feel like our fantasy is, playing games with us, like, oh, this can't be. Like, whoa, there's a unicorn. I can't be having a unicorn, right? Or May was talking about dragons. I can't be having a dragon, right? Sitting next to me. That can't be. Please, always in the beginning, start practicing by accepting whatever you see in that moment as the right thing in that moment. It will, you know, with time, you will start more and more to be more confident, right? For now, don't try to tell yourself to stop thinking of this or that. Allow yourself to be open to whatever you see and to take that in as the right thing in that moment, to trust yourself. I remember that for me at some point, um, I think it was especially because of very overwhelming times that I was going through. I asked my spirit guides for a sign that they would make when my fantasy would start going wild. So I'm just giving you this as a suggestion. Could be something that you could talk to them about today, for example, where I ask my spirit guides to give me a sign that if I see that, I'll know right now it's my brain going wild because it wants to go wild, and that's okay. And I'll let it go wild. And then later, when I have, you know, um, regulated myself, then I'll be able to see a little bit more clear and come back. Because that's a good thing. This is a YouTube live, so you will be able to see it later, and then you will be able to, get a feeling of that for yourself. Um, and yeah, that's the part about seeing, about hearing them. Um, I think those are the most important things you need to know. Right now, I'm having music running in the background, and I will turn it off because I know that during the journey, I'm gonna turn it off right now. There we go. Because I know that because I want this to be a safe space for any neurodivergent person out there. And so I've noticed that some of you like having the music in the background and some of you don't. So for because I want to open the space for anybody, if you want to go choose, you can do it, open a second tab on your computer if you're there with, YouTube music. Um, with your favorite music of some sort that you want to turn on. And I highly recommend going with music that is purely instrumental, that doesn't have any voice singing, not because I like having, voice singing music in the background, but in this case, I want you to be able to focus on my voice while we're going through the whole journey. So do that. As the neurospicy people that we are, stimming, walking, moving while we're doing the meditation is all allowed. I don't say that you have to sit still, never. If you do walk around, please make sure that you either have your eyes open or if you're walking outside so that you are making sure of your surroundings. That's the important part. Otherwise, be with yourself, with my voice. I do walking meditations in the forest and, or, outside on fields. So those are, I like them because they're kind of beautiful conversations I've had with my spirit guide. So that can happen. But again, if you're doing something externally, please always make sure that you are safe and everybody around you is safe as well. Yeah, and just focus on my voice. I think in the beginning, I can highly recommend use my voice as an anchor to bring you back to the moment. And if if it's not your, if you already have experience and you just want to have the energy of the group that we're having here, of the, of us here together, then please feel free. Feel free to wander about. Yeah, my voice is just there as an anchor to let you know when we're getting started and when we're coming back. Yeah, those are the important things for the journey for you to know. I always want you to start creating and making it your own. Once you get more practice in, you can always come back here to do it together with, with us here. You can always come back to the recording. And I think the important part is that if you are, also if you start to become seasoned, you don't want to listen to me explaining the whole thing every time anew. So just remember, it takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to explain everything before we get started with the guided journey and with some input to the coming week. So take your time for that. All right. Another thing is, yeah, sorry, one more thing is that we always have an intention. Shamanic journeys always have an intention. So you always have an intention for where you want to go. So what is your intention today? I will be pulling one of my favorite cards today that you can use if you want to as your guideline for this week. And I will tell you a little bit about the coming week that I do have in my repertoire. So there's nothing. No planets retrograde. Everything's fine. The only thing that we do have is April 16th to 17th. We have a new moon, at least for European time. It's on new moon at 8:54. That's the new moon. So it's about seeding intentions, beginnings, inward focus. New moon always gets us started into something new. So right now we're still in release energy until Friday. So yeah, that's Friday. Friday in the morning. And I think the important part about Friday in the morning is that it's a good day to start something new. There might be something, supporting us with everything happening in the world right now. That could be a time to, a good day to restart something for yourself. So, yeah, feel into that. Whatever wants to be restarted for the new moon. So if you feel like it, you can maybe we will get I'm not sure if the energy wants to know. I think it wants to do it next Sunday. Yeah. Let's just stick to the cards today. Let's see if how many want to come out for the coming week. And you will take whichever of these cards. Oh, okay, it's going to be more than one. You're going to take whichever resonates with you. It can be one or three of them. And you can use that as the intention for your journey. So for the part where I leave you with your spirit guides, you can always come back to this intention, whatever intention you set. And again, because of everything happening, you're allowed to say, I want to, focus on how can I do something about this planet right now? It's too much. How can I, like what can I do to support Mother Earth? What can I do to support our global consciousness to bring more peace or whatever? Do that. Ask your spirit guides. That can be a theme as well. Just saying. I think we all do a lot for the global consciousness when we work on ourselves. That's why I picked these three cards. But again, if it is something where you interpret a lot, where you feel like it's making you numb or it's making you go crazy with everything, go into that because I know that, on a global political plane, it's hard for one person to do something, but the best thing that we can do instead of being in this freeze mode because we feel like we can't do anything about it is what can I do energetically to support the global consciousness or the universe or whoever we feel called to do. All right, so we have the new moon at the end of the sort of like at the ending of the week. So I guess we will be diving into the new moon energy next Sunday. For today, I have, oh my God, they're actually not that bad for next week. So the first card that we have is Celebrate Yourself, which is celebrate yourself, all that you are, all that you have achieved, and all that you will achieve. You're an amazing being, and it's important for you to celebrate who you are. Ooh, I think that's a good one, especially for the new moon, because you can recalibrate yourself. All the wonderful things that you have made happen. And because of that, you're always going to be able to get over, go through whatever you're going through right now to support yourself. So that's an amazing and beautiful, gift that you can have. And then we have the second one. De-stress. Reduce everything that causes stress and focus on the things that make you happy. Is there anything in particular that has been very stressful for you? I like this one very much. How can for me, whenever I get the de-stress card, I always go simplify. How can I simplify my life a little bit further? And always remember to let joy into your life and smile. I love this very much as well. So I think it's a very positive card. So I think we're looking into a very positive week for us. Let me just get the incense a little up here. This is so good. All right, my beautiful souls. Let's dive into this. I hope you're comfortable. Let me just check. Where do I have my here? Something to drink. And then we can get started. Let me just. All right. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if you can hear them, but I will be using them to create our circle. I call in all our spirit guides to come and support and create the circle for everybody participating today. Thank you for creating the safe space for everybody joining us. Thank you to all the spirit guides that will show themselves. Thank you to all the spirit guides helping us, supporting us. To all the animals, the ancestors, the spiritual teachers and healers that help us on this plane. The spirit animals, totem animals, are wonderful magical beings that help us. Fairies, unicorns, dragons. Yes, thank you so much for all your support. Yes, also the angels are coming in. Wow, thank you. Thank you for creating this safe space for all of us here to come together to meet with our spirit guides to be ready for the coming week. Thank you. All right, my beautiful souls, I want you to, if you can, close your eyes and focus on yourself, on your breathing. Hmm. How is your inhale and exhale working? And with the next inhale, I want you to inhale through your crown chakra to through the highest part up here. Inhale and let it go through your whole body. And then exhale through your belly button or your navel. And allow through this breath universal energy to enter through your inhale to your body. And feel how this universal energy is sort of like a cleanser, and it takes everything from your body that doesn't serve you anymore, all your worries, all your things from the day to day that you don't need anymore. And when you exhale, it's pushed out of your body and creates a release. And you feel your body becoming lighter and lighter, more and more. And with your next inhale, again, you feel universal energy coming into your body. And exhale. And you feel your body being light and ease, almost as if you could float away. And maybe you do. You imagine yourself floating away to a wonderful space somewhere in nature. Mm. Some place that might, some place that you might know. It might be a familiar place, or it might also just be an imaginary place somewhere in nature, maybe a field, maybe somewhere in a forest, maybe somewhere at the beach. Allow your mind to find that place for you that feels good, that feels right. And you take a moment to take it all in, to feel the dirt beneath your feet. Is it warm? Is it soft? Maybe you will hear some insects flying by, or maybe a bird somewhere making noise. Maybe you hear the wind going through leaves, rattling a little bit. Maybe where you are, it's light and you feel the warmth of the sun on your skin, or a light, warm breeze under stars, a starry night. Hmm. Maybe you hear a body of water like a lake or a little river running through. Hmm. You're here, and it's a beautiful and serene place in nature. And you take another look around. And then you find it somewhere by a tree. There is a little portal. It can be a portal that looks like as if it would take you into the tree, or maybe under the tree, or maybe to the top of the tree. But you can feel its pull, like it's calling you to come. And intuitively, you know this is the portal, the doorway that will take you into the other world. Hmm. And we're going to do it together, everyone at the same time. Stand in front of your portal. And when you are ready, you take a deep breath and you open the door and you step in. And you step into the other world as it wants to show itself to you today. Allow yourself a moment to arrive here in this space. However it may look to you, however it might want to show itself to you. And let's set the first intention by asking the spirit world, which one of our spirit guides wants to help me today with today's task, with today's journey? Who wants to give me support for the coming week? Set that intention. And if you feel like there's nobody showing up, repeat it again as often until you feel like someone's showing up. Again, it might be something or someone that you see, or it might be something that you feel like they are there. Maybe if you can see them, they might be standing behind you. Mm-hmm. Mm. And whoever ever shows up for you right now, you might want to take a moment if you haven't seen them before to ask them hello and ask them if they have a name for you, if they have a special role in your life right now. And if you've already known them before, you can set your intention now with them and tell them, hey, I need support with this challenge, or next week this is coming up, or one of the cards said to smile. What can I do to bring back ease and lightness into my life for next week? Whatever your intention is, now is the moment to express it, to say it into the ether. Hmm. And whenever it's time to come back, I will call you in. So don't worry right now. Just focus on your intention and on speaking to your spirit guides. And I will call you when it's time to go. slowly you start to wrap up your conversation with your spirit guides. Thanking them for whatever help they offered you for today. Ask them to give you an anchor that will remind you of their message, of their words, something, an image, a word, a sound that will remind you in the coming week of what you talked about with them today. And in the knowledge that your spirit guides are here for whenever you need them, you say goodbye for now and start going back to that entrance, to where we came through, to the portal that brought you. And we're going to do it together again. We're going to step up to the door, or however that portal might look to you. And then take one deep breath, say goodbye, dear other world, and then step into that place in nature where we started. And like we did before, you take a moment to, get out of the portal, walk a couple of steps, feel the dirt beneath your feet again, or the sand, or wherever you are right now. Feel the sunlight or the starlight on your skin. Maybe you hear the wind rattling through the leaves, or some animal humming somewhere in the distance. And more you come back to yourself, to your body. And then you bring your focus to your breathing, inhaling, exhaling. You imagine again with the next inhale how universal energy enters your crown chakra, goes through your whole body, anchoring everything that you heard today, and then exhaling it through your feet. And you instantly feel your feet getting warmer, being energized. And again, you inhale universal energy. Let it go through your whole body, and you feel how you are a conduit of this energy, and put it back through your feet into the earth. And with that, you're grounding yourself back into your own body, but also connecting the universe with Mother Earth. And you do this a couple of times until you feel yourself grounded back into your body. And with one more deep breath, whenever you're ready, you open your eyes and come back into your here and your now. Mm. If you feel like you haven't fully arrived back in your body, please continue breathing in through your crown chakra and exhaling through your feet until this grounds you back into your body. If you need to, allow your body to move, to stretch, to yawn, to sneeze, to cough, whatever, however the energy that was just moved wants to come out through your body, allow that to happen. And return into your body. If you want to, go and write down what you just experienced, or just allow yourself to be in that energy for a little longer. Just as a little reminder, the 3 cards for today. Remember to celebrate yourself, to smile, and to de-stress as good as possible. If you can, celebrate the new moon this Friday morning. If you're in Europe, if not, it's probably, well, it's still in morning if you're on the Americans. But I guess it's more in Europe. Thank you so much for being here, for being part of this journey today. It felt pretty good. And I hope you enjoyed it as well. And with that said, my wonderful soul, many blessings for the coming week. And I hope to see you here again next week. Mahalo.